with that, I will open the floor to any questions that you might have.
Maybe this is best for Rick, perhaps. Could you talk about the buildings that sustained damage that were due to be retrofitted seismically or had not been yet?
Yeah, that question has been asked before. Essentially, the city has had an active seismic program for retrofitting our buildings. Of the approximately 24 that existed, all but 6 had been repaired and retrofitted. Of the 6, 3 were actively in the process of going through design and implementation. 3 were not. The 3 that were not were 3 that were damaged substantially on Brown Street.
Thank you. The building that will probably be the iconic building from this earthquake, where you've seen a lot of the coverage, that was reinforced, right? That particular building.
This is the building on which street?
Carpenter.
That is one of the buildings that had been reinforced. Yes.
And was it just reinforcement on the top and the bottom, or was there actual modifications made on the wall itself to reinforce it?
You know, I don't have the level of detail at this point to know the construction that occurred. So we know what we see from the work, but we are not at the point to explore those buildings that have had the damage to assess why the damage occurred. So as Mike is saying, we're still in the assessment mode, and then we'll have to explore that after we get kind of feedback on the ground.
Rick, did anyone suggest that the retrofit did not work?
It's hard to say. There's a lot of factors that go into earthquakes and repair work. So I wouldn't make that conclusion until we really drill down into that particular property later.
Point of clarification, someone here mentioned 10 additional red tags. Is that in addition to the 33?
Yes, there are 16 this morning that are in addition to the 33 that were issued yesterday. And like I say, that information was through about 10 or 10:30 this morning, and our inspectors will be out there all day. So we're liable to see a few more.
So we're at 49 right now, the actual.
That's correct, 49 total.
How about yellow tags total? Do you know?
We have not been keeping as close a number on those because the numbers are substantially larger, and what's most important are those buildings that we do not want people to be inside. What we've, I think, assigned in the information that we've circulated is over 100. That number's presumably going to go up as well as our inspectors are out there during the day.
Chief, what's the situation with fire hydrants and water pressure? Are you guys good to go at this point, or is there concern about, or either who can answer it, about having adequate water pressure if we were to have a fire right now?
So the question was, if we were to have a fire right now, would I be concerned about water pressure in the city of Napa? And the answer is no. I'm not concerned now. Unfortunately, we do have parts of our system that are aged. We have an older community. That being the case, I feel very comfortable with our hydrant and support system for our fire apparatus.
Can we talk about water for a second? Do you have an estimate at this point of how many people in Napa are without water?
We have counted about 600 properties that have been affected. I don't know how many people that translates to. So don't have an exact number, but there are 600 properties.
Okay. How many properties are in the city of Napa?
20,000 plus.
And the timeline for getting water back is Wednesday or Thursday still?
Correct. We're still, with all the mutual aid we're getting, we're still looking at Wednesday or Thursday. The crews are doing a great job out there.
So, Arnaz, you might want to answer this question. This is sort of a generic or a generalized question. Right now, everything that we do is talking about things that have broken or may have been compromised. Is there going to be an effort in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, to do a complete assessment of all the serious infrastructure of the city to make sure that you haven't missed anything, or that you can provide a proper report to the authorities here saying it survived the 6, let's reinforce and continue to go on from here?
Question is, are we going to be looking at the condition of our infrastructure as we go forward? And the answer is yes. As we're going through and analyzing the damage, at the same time, it gives us the opportunity to see how is the system working under stress, and where can we build in redundancies or other improvements to either avoid the problems